Okay, this video is going to highlight ambiguous case scenarios with law of sines. So let's say, for example, that this problem was given to you and that angle A was 68 degrees, side A was 17, and side B was 18. So this is 68. If I had a visual, this is 17, and this is 18. So the first thing I would hope to figure out is that this is an ambiguous case, and it's because I'm given two sides and the non-included angle. So when there's that kind of situation, you could have one triangle, two triangles, or no triangles. So I'm going to assume that there's two triangles, and then I'm going to work to prove myself wrong. So I'm going to use the law of sines, and the one pair I have both the side and the angle of is A. So I'm going to say that A over the sine of A equals, and then the other piece of information I have is side B over sine of angle B. So A is 17, the sine of 68 would equal B, which is 18, over the sine of angle B, which is my unknown. And then I'm going to cross multiply. And divide. And when I type that in the calculator, I end up with the sine of B equals 0.9817, and so on. So I'm going to do the sine -1, or the inverse sine of 0.98, that whole number, and I get angle B equals 79.03. And we're going to say that this is angle B1 because we're going to assume that there's a second triangle. So this would be 79.03. And then we're going to say that angle B2 would be 180 minus 79.03, which is 100.97. Now we're going to continue on with the first triangle the way we typically would solve it. So because I have angle A and I've got angle B1, the only other angle I'm missing is angle C. So to find angle C1, I'm going to do 180 minus 68 minus 79.03. And I get angle C equals 32.97. And this is C1. And then the last thing I need to solve for is side C1. So I'm going to use A over sine of A equals C1 over sine of C1. A was 17, angle A is 68, C1 is my unknown, angle C1 is 32.97, and then I'm going to cross multiply and divide. So 17 times the sine of 32.97 would equal C1 times sine of 68, and then I'm going to divide by the sine of 68. And I get C1 is 9.97, so 9.977 or 9.98. So now that I've completed triangle 1, I'm going to complete triangle 2. So I would use A over sine of A equals now B2. So B2 over sine of angle B2. And A is still 17 over the sine of angle A, which is still 68, would equal B2, which is my unknown, over the sine of 100.97. Cross multiply. And divide. And I get 18.00, so 18.8. No, 18.0, sorry. And then the last thing I have to solve for is side C2. So I'm going to use A over A again. (17) over the sine of 68 would equal, now I'm trying to find C2. So C2 over the sine of angle C2, which I have to find by subtracting B2 and A from 180. So 180 minus 100.97 minus 68, and I get 11.03. And then I cross multiply. And divide.